for tonight?
I'm rooting for everybody black. I am betting on black tonight.
Lovely. You look great.
Welcome to Code Black Facts, where we talk about all things black to include news and viral videos, mental health, self-love, self-care, self-development, black women issues, crime stories, and black history. If you are interested in any of these topics, please subscribe to my channel, like, share, and don't forget to comment below. Thank you.
Say it's a black thing, run deep in the roots. Blacker the berry, baby, the sweeter the juice.
Hello, everyone. Thank you guys for tuning in to Code Black Facts. You guys know I love you and I do appreciate you. So I know you guys are not used to seeing me on camera. I don't ever come on camera. It just takes too much work to come on camera, and I'm just like, But anyways, I was feeling away and I said, you know what, let me jump on here really quickly because I think that this is a good topic to talk about since, of course, my channel is dedicated to all things black. So I wanted to talk about this Keke Palmer tweet. So for those of you guys that does not know Keke Palmer is everything. Like, I really like Keke. To me, she's down to earth, or she seems or appears to be down to earth. She just seems cool. She seems fun, but she's also an actress, and she co-hosts a lot of different TV shows. She's actually been in the game since she was a little girl. She sings, she writes. I think she's actually had a few songs that she's done. So she's just entertainment, a walking entertainment center. Like, she's just all things. And I really like her personality. So that's who Keke Palmer is for you guys who do not know her. But let's go ahead and let me share my screen so that I can show you this tweet. And I want to kind of talk about like my perspective and some of the other tweets that I was able to see. All right, so this is, oh, there it goes. So this is Keke Palmer's this is the tweet that she tweeted. So it says, disrespecting women has just become a sport. Double points if you do it publicly. It makes me so sick because it's always a joke until something happens. But even then, it's just a viral moment to most. All right. And so she said that, as you guys can see here, these are, she had 82,000 likes, 743 people quoted her, and then 20,000 retweets. Let's get into some of these comments. So first, excuse me, guys. Excuse me. Let me drink some water. Excuse me. All right. So first of all, let me say this. This is my stance on this. I think that I agree with Keke Palmer. Now, I can't speak for other groups of women. On this channel, we talk about all things black. So I'm going to go ahead and say that I agree with her as it relates to black women. I do think that black women are the most scrutinized, the most talked about, the most disrespected. And I would even say unprotected to a certain degree. I would even say that. That's my sense. I'm going to tell you why, you guys. I'm going to tell you why. Because I look at it like this. On any given Sunday, a black man can be murdered. Just like that. On any given day, right? An unarmed black man can be shot down, not just by the police, but just some, remember Trayvon Martin? Just any Tom, Dick, and Harry walking down the street. We just saw the Ahmaud Arbery, situation. So again, a black man can walk outside his home, get shot down. Now, if the black man is the man in the community of Black people, in the Black community. What do you think the women and children, what do you think can happen to if it can so easily happen to the men, it can very much easily happen to the women and children. And for that reason, I say that we are the most unprotected, because a white woman ain't got to worry about leaving her home getting shot down. A white man don't have to worry about leaving his home getting shot down. A white child, we just seen the viral video of the white boy get into a fight with a Black boy, and the police come tackling the Black boy. It made news. So again, if the Black man can't, it can go out, can leave his house and be gunned down any given moment on any given day, so can the Black woman and the Black child. And so for that reason, the Black woman and the Black child are the most unprotected. That's why I said that. That's the logic for me. So also I want to say that, I'm not going to complicate things, so I'm not going to add too much. But what I will say is that I think that when it comes to the Black community, there is a very, very large divide. The divide between Black men and Black women is the largest of any other community. Other groups come together and work together and stay on code together. Even though they may have a little bit of infighting, they still work together, stay on code, build wealth. They're still about that, being focused on that. And in the Black community, I hate to say it, and I hate coming on here, you guys, always reporting on, not so good stories and stuff like that. Like, I really don't like that. But I do think that these things need to be talked about, and we do need to shed light on these things, because if we don't shed light on it, nothing is going to change. Nobody's going to really think about it. But I am not going to not speak the truth, and I'm not going to just, ignore certain things that I see go on. I'm not going to do that. So that's why I come on here, and a lot of the things that I report on here, it has to do with stuff that needs to be addressed in the Black community. I have a series where I report sometimes on the crime as it relates to Black people, Black women, things like that. And so anyways, I don't want to get out too much off track, but getting back on track, let's go through some of these tweets, some of the responses. So here's one. It says, let me click on, hold on. Let me actually make this the entire screen. So this one says, I don't respect what you're trying to advocate, simply because when all the R. Kelly lies broke publicly, you went along with the movement, speaking out of turn without facts. If you don't know, silence is key. Now, I don't have a comment about that. I don't know. I was not following Keke with the whole R. Kelly thing, so I don't know what she done, and I'm not going to speak ill of her based off of what, I don't know. So I'm not going to speak on that. And I don't even see how that has anything to do with what she tweeted, because here she is talking about, the disrespect of women. And I bet you a lot of that is Black women, but she just didn't put the Black in there because, again, Keke is a Black woman. But she generalized it and just said women. But reading between the lines, I know she's really talking about Black women. But I don't see what that had to do with what her tweet was. Like, I don't see what that had to do with anything. Because I'm assuming, like, if she did speak out in favor of R. Kelly or against R. Kelly, she was speaking out, not necessarily towards his person, but maybe the things that he was accused of doing. Which I can't see anybody being okay with any So anyways, silence is key. So what else do you have here? It says women are disrespected in all forms of media, music, TV, social media, and experience. And experiencing every time we leave our home. It's become so normal to look down on women. We are the ones that give life. Something has to change. We do not deserve the disrespect. I agree with that too. I think that now I'm gonna say this because I haven't anybody say this. I'm just going to say this. Let me put my face back on this so you guys can see me. Let me go back. I'm gonna say this. I think that a lot of so it really depends on what you would consider disrespect. I did a video. It wasn't last year. I don't remember, you guys. I got so much. It's so much going on. But anyways, I did a video. And the video was about a woman who, was just behaving in a manner that we, we say we don't want to be, we don't want to be put into the stereotypical things that they say about Black women. But this woman was behaving that way and was actually getting praised for it. And so, I spoke on that, and I got a lot of pushback, particularly from Black women. A lot. Is my mic on good? A lot. So, but, and the reason why I bring that up is because, it really depends on what you call disrespect. Because I know that, but basically, we don't, being totally honest, there is a group of women who, they do not help that. They don't help that. Meaning, they do things and it's like you disrespecting yourself. Like, for example, the Tommy Sotomayor fight, altercation that he had with the Black woman, I think her name was Shay. Look, she got on there and she had been on there previously before that, and she was disrespecting herself because of the work that she was doing. She was on there talking about the different sexual acts and stuff that she gets into and all this kind of stuff. And so she was putting that out there. So like if somebody comes back and they use that at her, even though they're a stranger, they're a random person, that they don't get to do that, but it can happen. And it can happen in a disrespectful way. And so, again, when I think about other things that, we promote, we, meaning women, not all of us, but some of us, the Cardi B's and, all of that kind of stuff, right? Just being completely honest, I mean, some of that stuff we ate in too. But I don't think that's what Keke is referring to and talking about. She's specifically talking about like, men coming out and just saying like just messed up stuff. Again, I don't see white men, Asian men, or any group of men coming out talking about how their women are not, their women are not desirable to them. I only see that within our community. And that says a lot. That just says a lot. That says a lot about our community, about the men, some of the men, not all, but some of them in our community. It says a lot. It does. It does not reflect well. I don't see groups of, Asian, Arabic, whatever other group of men. I don't see them sitting up in these YouTube groups talking about how horrible their women are. I don't see that. Even when they do have conflict, right? Even with, you'll see, like I was listening to, and I'm not going to say the YouTuber's name, but it was a white male and he was talking about like white female feminism within the white community. And, he was basically calling out, a lot of the stuff that a lot of the white women who are feminists are doing and the extremism of it, much of it. And, he was making some really good points. But he wasn't sitting on there talking about how, like, that they're not desirable, they don't look good, their phenotype. He was not doing that. He was specifically addressing the behaviors behind the feminism, right? He was addressing that. And that is much different than somebody sitting up talking about, I don't like Black women because Black women are X, Y, and Z. And then it's like very stereotypical things, right? And again, that can be easily done. This is another thing. Like when I see certain dudes sitting up talking about like Black women and they're bringing up stereotypical things that Black women are doing, I'm like, dude, do you not know how easy it is to do the same thing to you? Like we see stereotypical stuff about Black men and that Black men do every day. Like, that it makes no sense. It's like you're literally doing what you say the white supremacists are doing to you. You're literally doing the same thing that they're doing. That's how I take it. It's one thing to call stuff out. Like I believe in calling out the foolery. I believe in all of that. But I also believe in balance. And I also believe that all things don't need to be talked about publicly. I don't. And I think that we air out our business. Like you don't think other groups of men have issues with their women too, and the women have issues with their men, but you don't see them doing what is done in the Black community. You just don't. And see, even with this tweet that Keke did, like just the way that she wrote it, she didn't call out Black men. She said, disrespecting women has just become a sport. Double points if you do it publicly. It makes me so sick because it's always a joke until something happens. But even then, it's just a viral moment. So she could be referring to the men who do disrespect women or the women who disrespect women. But see, that tweet, this to me is a good example because you'll see like a dude saying something like this, but then he's like, well, Black women this. She didn't say Black men. She didn't even say men. She's just specifically talking about the disrespect of women. And again, you guys, like, remember, like, I'm Black first, but then I'm a woman. I'm a Black woman next. Like, I so I can't just overlook that. I can't overlook what go on as it relates to Black women. No. Mm-mm. Just like I don't overlook, like racism and white supremacy and all of that go on and the injustices and all that. Like I don't overlook none of that stuff. I talk about it all. My channel though, I wanted to diversify my channel. So what I decided to do is talk about all things Black, but I wanted to be more diverse. I want to talk about, the crime. I want to talk about like crime stories, I want to talk about the history, the Black history. I want to talk about viral moments and the things that we can learn from them, self-love, self-care. So I wanted to diversify my channel because I think that those are all the topics that need to be addressed within our community. And I'm all for focusing in on one specific thing, but I feel like I am well versed and can kind of talk about all of those different things. So let's go through some more tweets. It says women are, we already read that one. Let's go down a little bit more. They started talking about the Megan Thee Stallion and Tory Lanez situation, and I guess they were using that as an example. But I don't want to get into none of that. So here's something. So this is from Tyler. It says disrespecting anyone, period, because of the cultivated stereotypical differences is called humor. Anyone can laugh at the assumptions and overgeneralization of anybody, even themselves. It's simply called humor. good people don't F with people that actually feel that way. That was interesting. I don't know. So I'm just trying to find some more. And I want to, so one of the things that I want to do is I want to pay attention to many of the Black women and what they're saying, only because I feel like it since it's coming from Keke, a Black woman, then I feel like Black women's grievances would matter the most. Not to say that the other ones don't, but I see white men on here commenting, other women from other groups. I mean, if the picture is true to who the person that is tweeting. So I want to kind of, get the perspective of the Black women. So here's one. It says, discrediting, disrespecting, and or degrading Black women in particular is big business. And I've heard this before, you guys, and I don't know. I'm kind of on the fence with that one. On one hand, I do feel like it is a big business. But on the other hand, I'm like, if you're comparing big business to like other groups of people, like even on YouTube, like you can take a Black YouTuber, right, who is, who's got a lot of followers, a lot of subscribers, so on and so forth, and the top, non-Black YouTuber, which would probably be a white, like they make way more, like way more. So it's like, I mean, are they really making money like that? Like, I get if they have a viral moment, and from that viral moment they start to, get money through like endorsements or something like that. But I don't know. I would have to see. Like, I would have to see that. Yeah. I mean, I do think that there's money in it, because I do know you can make good money on YouTube, but YouTube compared to, that's like chump change. And I know there are millionaires from YouTube, but again, those millionaires, they're not Black. And the Black ones, like, I think they're like makeup artists, like Black people who do this type of content. They not making money like that. I mean, Tasha K, which is, would be considered like a gossip channel, whatever, a channel that reports on like stuff that you find on social media, whatever. You compare her to somebody like I don't even know. What was that white man, something Star, Johnny Star, something like that. Like, you compare, like, you guys, I seen a video on YouTube where they were showing like the top YouTubers, most of them, all of them were white. And I mean, these people is making bank, and they're not making bank due to the YouTube checks. They're making bank because they got popular on YouTube, but outside of YouTube, because of their popularity, they were able to brand themselves into a mogul. And because of the branding, they're able to get like, different endorsement deals, and that's how they're making all those millions of dollars. They're not making millions of dollars like that from YouTube. From my understanding, I'm not saying you can't make no money. I'm sure you can, but the real money is like in products. Like, if you're able to get popular and then start selling products, or you're able to get popular and then, start getting endorsement deal from like Nike and, all those big name people, that's where the money is. But sitting on here doing 15 videos in one day, that is a lot. And that's why when you see a lot of these big YouTubers, when they do make it big, they don't sit on here and do 39 videos in one day. They don't do that. They do probably one a week. And all that other money is coming from, like I said, they're like endorsement deals and stuff like that, like branding and, selling their own products, things like that. I could be wrong, but I mean, again, this is from the things that I've seen. So let's read a few more and then we're gonna get out of here. What is this one? It says, men as doing such as not considered men not to matter of the bad, or I can't. If somebody doesn't write right, I can't read it. I'm sorry. I just can't. It's 9 times out of 10, it's by a man that's less accomplished than the woman. Preach. Interesting perspective. It's always the dude who looks like God just gave up that has shit to say in about a Black woman. It says disrespecting women shouldn't be a thing at all. Why can't people just agree to disagree without people trying to humiliate others or making things personal? Maybe I'm just someone who thinks things should be done differently. It is exactly why it's become acceptable in society when our own Black men disrespect their Black women. We have got to do better as people. When Black men do it, everybody else thinks it's okay for them to do it. God bless our people. That's an interesting perspective. And I kind of think, like, just on the basis of, like, when I think of like men, right? So when I think of men, I think of my father, and then my brothers, and then of course uncles and things like that. But I first think of my father. And as my father, he was like the protector. He was the man that protected the home, that protected the children, that protected, he was respected. So people would think twice before they would disrespect me or my mom or my brother or anything like that. Like, you would think twice because there was a man, and you got to go through this man. I never forget, and I think I mentioned this on a video before, where I went to a restaurant, a fast food. I went to a drive-through to get some food, and in the process of getting food, there was a dude that I don't remember exactly what happened, but all I know is I think he wanted to holler or something like that, and I wasn't giving him the time of day, so he called me a B. And when he called me a B, I had the drink that he had just given me in my hand, and I threw it at him, and it hit the window. I don't know if some got on him or not, but I went home and I got my daddy, and I took my daddy up there. Well, my daddy was like, "No, we're gonna go up there." And so, or in other cases, like, so again, it's like you got to go through the man. So in the case where she's talking about, if the man does it, then other groups or other people will think it's okay because the men do it. So I can see how that could be true. I can see how that could be true just based off of like the dynamic that I had with my own father, or even the men that I was in romantic relationships with. Like, you don't, if you're gonna disrespect my woman, you disrespecting me, because she's a reflection of me, right? So people held you to a certain level of respect out of respect for that man, right? And of course, as a woman, you carry yourself a certain way, you respect yourself, blah 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 blah, we know that. But just, going off of like the comment that she said. All right, I think that's it, you guys. I'm actually interested to see, like, what are you guys' thoughts? What are your thoughts? What are your comments, if any? I would like to know them. Please put them down in the comment section below. And don't forget to like and subscribe. And again, if you are new to my channel, thank you. Welcome. I appreciate you. And come back, and you guys can like email me like any topics that you want me to cover, because sometimes it'd be hard to look for content. But on that note, I'm gonna be out. I hope you guys have a good night. Bye.